So for today's video, we are going to talk about applying for a family reunion visa. Yes, you heard it right. If you are interested or if you are planning to bring your family from your home country to Germany, then this video is for you. So what are you waiting for? Sit down, relax, enjoy, and learn with me. Good morning! Isang napakagandang umaga. Buenos dias, bom dia, and guten morgen, bonjour, calamera, dobry utro. This is your Filipino hamburger and welcome back to my channel. Okay, before we proceed guys, if you are new in this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell for informative, interesting, fun videos from your Filipino hamburger. You may also follow me on my different social platforms such as Instagram and Facebook. Yes, ganski now. Okay, without further ado, let's start with the first major requirement. Number 1, financial capacity. Yes guys, it's very important to prove upon the German authorities that you are financially capable of supporting your family here in Germany. So yes, how do you prove that? You can prove that through your work contract. So, when you apply for the family reunion visa, you have to hand in your Arbeitsvertrag, URA, your work contract, your last 3 payslip or Gehaltabrechnung. With these 2 documents, you will be able to prove that you are capable of supporting your partner and your kids, if you have, to stay and live here in Germany. Okay? So that's the number 1 requirement that you have to work on, financial capacity. So you might be asking, John, how much do I need or how much should I earn so that I can support my partner and as well a kid or 2 kids of mine? Well, that question is a bit complicated to answer because the answer depends on where do you live in Germany. I mean, each regulation differs from Bundesland to Bundesland. So I can only talk about Hamburg, for example. Okay? So, if you are earning, let's say, 2,000 euros a month, 2,000 euros a month netto, or that's your net, then that is more than enough to support your partner. I'm saying partner to make it gender neutral, okay? So yes, if you don't have kids, if you just only have your partner who will not be working for the first 6 months at least, then earning between 1,800 euros and 2,000 euros a month net. That means after tax is more than safe. But that also depends on your apartment, which I will be talking later in this video. Okay? Now, if you have one kid who is younger than 18 years old, earning between 1,800 and 2,000 euros clean is still safe for you guys. Okay? Because if I'm not mistaken, if I understood it correctly, the calculation should be around 420 euros will be for the head of the family, and then the partner and the kids should have 380 or 390 euros a month budget. Okay, so this should be enough for them to survive monthly in terms of fulfilling or in terms of dealing with their basic needs. Okay? So, if you are earning more than 2,000 euros net after tax, then perfect. Okay? That would be perfect. But I'm saying, if you have 3 kids, and you are just earning between 1,800 euros and 2,000 euros net a month, that might be difficult for you to convince the German authority that you can support your partner and your 3 kids. Okay, it might be complicated, but you can still try. You can still try, okay? So yes, just to summarize, if you just have your partner, then earning 1,800 to 2,000 euros net after tax is more than enough. If you only have 1 kid, that should be also enough. And if you have 2 kids, then at least you should be earning 2,000 euros a month. Otherwise, like what I've said, it might be difficult for the foreign office to be convinced that this money is more than enough to survive in Germany. Because, like what I've said a while ago, it depends where you are staying or which part of the country you live in. If you are just living in a countryside, then maybe that is enough. Otherwise, maybe you will be needing more. Okay? Great. So the next major requirement that you have to work on for your family reunion visa application is proving that you have enough space for yourself and for your family members. And what does that mean? So when you are renting a house or a flat in Germany, make sure that everyone or every member of your household has enough space. So what do I mean by enough space? According to the German law, enough space means 12 square meters per head if that member of the family or family member is older than 6 years old. But if your kid, for example, is younger than 6 years old, then he or she just needs 10 square meters minimum. So, in other words, if there are 4 of you, let's say yourself, your partner, and your, let's say, firstborn who is older than 6 years old, and then the youngest member of the family who is, let's say, 4 years old. So 12, 12, 12, 10. So that is 36 plus 10 is 46 square meters for the 4 members of the family. Plus your kitchen and your bathroom and your toilet if they are separated. So, in other words, if you are renting an apartment which is, let's say, 55 square meters gross, or like the big or the size is 55 square meters, then you are safe. Well guys, unfortunately, when we talk about apartment, size does matter. Because according to German law, everyone or every member of the household should have enough private space for their own. So yes, you have to be mindful when you are going to rent a space for your family reunion visa. But according to the German law as well, if the size of your apartment is, let's say, 10% smaller or more than 10% smaller than the required space, then you might have problem for your family reunion visa. If that's the case, then better find another apartment to rent. It's always better to have an extra space than shortage, because at least there's still space or number there to play with. Yeah? To sum it up guys, for every member of the household who is older than 6 years old, the minimum requirement is 12 square meters. For family members who are younger than 6 years old, 10 square meter is enough for them. Okay? So, if you are a family of if your household is composed of 3, then I would suggest a 50 square meter apartment is more than enough. And John, how about the room? Is there a requirement for rooms? Well, make sure that when you hand in your application, the authorities or the German authorities won't question like, wait, so this is 50 square meter and it's just a 1-room apartment. So where is your 15-year-old kid be sleeping? You don't want your kid to be sleeping between you and your partner. Or maybe your kid does not want to stay or to sleep with his or her parents. So you have to think that way, okay? So better, I always tell people, you're looking for an apartment and you have 1 kid, then the 2.5 apartment is enough. What do I mean by 2.5? You have your bedroom, 1 sleeping room, and then the 0.5 room for that kid. Okay, a 3-room apartment would be more than enough. Okay, so these are the things that you need to consider when you apply for a family reunion visa. So John, so the question is, how can I prove that I have enough space? Well, you can prove that through the leasing contract. So this leasing contract should be presented to the German embassy in your home country during your visa appointment. Moving on, next requirement, of course, the language certificate. Yes, your partner has to have A1 language certificate of German language. So he or she needs to take that prior to his or her appointment in the German embassy. He needs or she needs to prove that at least she has or he has the basic language skills. Your kid, your 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kid does not need to take an A1 level certificate. It's only for your partner. So yes, if you are a partner of someone living in Germany right now, then it's better to start learning the German language. Jetzt, nun, ja, ahora, jetzt, genau. Okay, next requirement. Krankenversicherung or the health insurance. So when your family member applies in the German embassy for a family reunion visa, he or she or they should have already their Krankenversicherung. A Krankenversicherung for your wife or for your husband or for your partner, and as well for your kid if the kid needs one. But if I understood it correctly, in Germany, usually kids who are minors, they are insured under their parents' insurance. So you have to check that with the German authorities in your home country, which is the German embassy. So the next major requirement for your family reunion visa is proving that he or she is your partner and he or she is your kid. And how can you do that? Well, through your marriage contract and through the birth certificate of your kid. If these documents are not in English or in German, then you also have to do the translation. Most of the time, translations need to be done by an authorized, certified translator. Okay? Well, another major requirements, guys, is a cover letter. And if you could explain on your cover letter why do you want to bring your wife or your husband or your kid here in Germany, then that's super wunderbar. Okay? Aside from a cover letter, you also need to submit a copy of the residence permit or the Aufenthaltsgenehmigung or the Aufenthaltstitel of your partner who is in Germany. I mean, it's very important that you can prove that your partner is officially residing in Germany and not just illegally hiding from German authorities. And of course, aside from this document, you also need a valid passport for you and for your kid too. And then you have to duly fill up the application form, which you can download from the official website of the German diplomatic mission in your home country. Additional requirement is also a biometric photo, which is usually the same as passport size photo. So if you still have an extra photo from your passport application, then you can use that for your visa application. Okay, great. So basically, these are the major requirements that you have to fulfill when you apply for a family reunion visa. Now, before we end this video, there's always this question: what should I do if one of my kids or if my kids are more than 18 years old already? If that's the case, one of the options you could do for you to bring them here successfully is to enroll your kids in a university. And that could be more challenging because your kid needs to have C1 level at least. And of course, your kid or kids need to be accepted in a German university or in a university in Germany for their bachelor studies or master's studies. Okay, another option as well is enroll them in a language course in Germany or let them apply for a language visa. Again, you can try to apply for a family reunion visa, but if they are already more than 18 years old, that would be extra challenging and complicated for you. But there's nothing wrong when you try. You know, we don't know until we try. But just set your expectations, lower expectations, so that you won't be disappointed. Because like what I've said, I'm pretty sure that if your kid is more than 18 years old, that will be already more complicated. And so the only option or one of the main options that he or she can have is through a student visa by applying a degree program in a university in Germany. but he or she needs to have C1 level language certificate. So just to sum up the major requirements that you need to accomplish for your family reunion visa application. First, valid passport, biometric photo, accomplished application form, proof financial capacity, proof through your work contract and your last 3-month health appraisal or payslip, proof that you have enough space in your apartment, which you can prove through the leasing contract. And always remember that each family member who is older than 6 years old, he or she needs 12 square meters. And for those who are younger than 6 years old, then he or she needs 10 square meters. And of course, you need a German language certificate, motivation letter, or a cover letter why you want to bring your family member to Germany. And also you need to prove that he or she is your legal wife or husband through a marriage certificate. And you also need to prove that he or she is your kid through the birth certificate of the kid. And last but not the least, guys, a copy of the Aufenthaltstitel or the Aufenthaltsgenehmigung of your husband or wife who is currently living in Germany. So these are the main major requirements for your family reunion visa. Of course, the German authority might require more than this. And that's the reason why try to have all your documents ready for your application. What is the reason that my application can be rejected? Number one reason, you are not earning enough for your family. So the German government wants to avoid that when you are here or when they are here, you will just be depending from the government's money. That's why it's very important to be economically independent if you want to bring your family in Germany, which means you should be earning enough or more than enough for your family members who you want to bring to Germany. Another reason why your application might be rejected is because maybe your partner or your kid are threat to the German security, which I doubt. I hope not, no? Otherwise, just don't attempt to apply if they're a threat to the German security, because they would know. They will find out and automatically you or the application will be rejected. Another reason why your family reunion visa might be rejected is maybe because your partner was convicted criminally once, and or he or she is involved he or she is involved with crimes back home, and so that might affect the application. So yes, guys, these are just some of the possible reasons why your application might be rejected. But come on, John, why are you talking about rejection? Let's think positive. If your application is complete and if your documents are complete, you are earning more than enough, then most likely your application will be approved. How long will the process will be? That really depends, case to case basis. Now, during Corona time, the process is longer than the usual. So, just be patient, because patience is a virtue. And that's it from my side. Thank you very much for staying to the last minute of this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now. If you like this video, don't forget to share it to your friends, family members, colleagues, exes, stalkers, and your enemies. If you have questions, clarifications, or doubts regarding your family reunion visa, feel free to contact me through my social media accounts. You may also write down your questions through the comment box below. And once again, guys, this is your Filipino hamburger who wants to say that you're one step forward if you are well informed. Have a nice day!